Hi, good afternoon. This is Catherine with Damn Good Marketing, and I spoke with Kaylee the end of last week. Our company, Damn Good Marketing, is part of the BNI chapter in Austin, Texas, which I think is part of that triangle of Austin, Fort Worth, and Dallas. And what we were doing is offering up a free website audit for businesses that were part of BNI. My business partner, Carissa, is part of the Leander Lightning chapter out of Austin. And so when I spoke with Kaylee, she said to go ahead and send over the audit to Melanie. So this is for Melanie and, of course, anyone else over at All Hands on Deck Handyman Services for just tips and tricks as far as what your digital footprint looks like. So what I'm going to do is go over several things with you. And this is, like I said, it's going to be tips and tricks on your digital footprint. One of the things we can also do at the end of this, if you have questions, is schedule a one-to-one. It helps both of our businesses with one-to-one meetings, since we can record those through BNI, and then also gives you an opportunity to chat with us and find out if you would like to talk further about our services. So to hop into it, we're going to cover three areas. We're going to look at SEO, which is search engine optimization, pretty much the content on your website. We're going to talk about Google My Business and citations, which are your name, phone number, and address, and how many times it's listed out on the internet, and backlinks. So hopping into your website, one of the things I did notice from the get-go is that there's not a lot of content on your website. So Google actually likes to see at least 1,500 to 2,000 words. Pretty much want to know if you're educating your potential buyers or clientele on what it is that you do. So that would be the first thing, is to look at adding some content to your website, and then get you ranking higher on Google because of your content. And companies that Google will put companies that on the first page based off the value that they bring. Now, keep in mind your website is its URL is still different than your Google My Business, so I'll cover that in a second. But with the content on your website, it helps bring in keywords of what people are searching for. So you have a lot of services that you provide. And most of these services, and I'm going to show you some background analytics here in a second, but a lot of these services that you provide are services that people Google. And when someone goes into a new Google screen and types in handyman service, the Colony, Texas, well, they're going to find you on the GMB, but they're not going to find your website on the front page. And it's only because, once again, there's not a lot of information on your website for Google to say, okay, this site is bringing a value add to the end user. So with that being said, that would be the first thing, is adding some content to your website with keyword rich services, throwing in there what people are searching for. So that's off the bat. So Google My Business. I want to commend you. So if you do do the search for a handyman in the Colony, Texas, you are number one. So hear me out when I say the but if you go into Frisco or Plano, you're not listed in there. So one of the things that I would suggest, because I'm going to show you once again here in a second why, is expanding your reach with Google My Business. And that's one of the things that we can do, optimize it to where you're reaching surrounding locations outside of just your base and the Colony. So Google My Business, a citation that you get is your name, your phone number, and your business. And that tells how many times it's out there on the internet. And that helps Google verify your company and its reputation. And when you have your business on there, in fact, let me put that in. So we're going to look at Handyman the Colony. And there you are. So you have 23 reviews right now. It would be a suggestion as to every time you have someone come through, or even talk with some of your business partners and see if they can leave you some reviews on your website. to boost how many you have here. So that's going to be helpful for Google to believe that your company is a positive and has a great reputation. That will also help with backlinks, and I'm going to talk about backlinks here in a few minutes. So I just touched on content, which is helping with your SEO. I just touched on Google My Business. So last thing I'm going to talk about is some of the analytics. So one of the tools that we use is a company called AHOD, is a subscription that we pay for every month. And what we do is I can put in this is your website, and I get all the background information about how you're being viewed on the internet. So to break these down for you, the UR is the strength of your website, and a DR is domain rating. That's how trustworthy or popular your website appears to be. Both of these can go up to 100, and right now we're sitting at 0 for your domain rating. Now, these can increase based off of two things: backlinks and referring domains. And a referring domain is a high power, high credible website that links back to yours. And what it does is it shows Google that you're credible, and it gives you a boost. So it's power to your website. Very similar to backlinks as well. Referring domains just have a lot more power than just the backlink. So backlink can literally be from on your website. A backlink would be considered from your home page over to your service page. So a backlink is simply just a link from one page to another. And when we talked about the keywords, so you're being ranked for 34 keywords. You have 22 people in organic traffic that has viewed your website within the last 30 days. And to get more organic traffic, that's where the keyword content comes into play. So one of the suggestions, like I said before, was maybe reaching out into different areas, whether you go to Plano or you go into Frisco. And the reason why is I'm just going to pull up Frisco. So I typed in Handyman services in Frisco, and Mr. Handyman, I know that this is a national brand. They were actually ranked number 1 in the organic. When I say organic, when you do a search here, this would be considered a keyword search. You're looking for a service in a particular area. At the top here, you have your map pack. And then down below is going to be all of the organic pages. So Mr. Handyman, it's also number 1 in the colony. And then outside of that, there's a lot of third parties: Angie's, Yelp, Triple B, Home Advisor, Thumbtacks, Yellow Pages. So you don't actually have, same thing with Done Right, Home Pros. All of these are going to be third pages, which, based off of some of the research I'm going to show you here in a second, you could easily be ranking number 1 in these particular areas based off of just changing up the content on your page. So when we talk about in Frisco, this particular company comes up in the number 1 organic slot down below the map pack. To show you why it's important to be aware of the different areas that you can go into is based off of these ratings. You can see now their domain rating is being pushed a lot by the fact that this is a national company, but just keep in mind that this is a side page. They do have 791 organic keywords that they're being found for, and that's pushing for almost 450 people to their website every month. So if you could increase from 22 up to over 400, that would be fantastic. The other thing I want to show you too is in Plano. So Plano, Texas Handyman is in the number 1 organic spot, and his numbers are kind of in between yours and Handyman, Mr. Handyman. He has 1.4, so 1,400 keywords he's being found for, and he's getting over 260 people in organic traffic. Now think about just the positive outcome that you can receive from that. To be fair, you're not going to capture 100% of everyone who comes to your website, but you will capture anywhere from 5 to 10%, depending on how enticing your website is. So even if you can convert 10%, that's 26 new jobs versus 10% of 22, which would be 2 jobs. So just making some key changes to the content on your website can be very, very empowering for your organic future. And the reason why this is going to be the last thing I show you is how easy these keywords are. Actually, I'm going to go back here. Sorry for the jumping around. So if I click in here, when I'm looking at the keyword, there's 3 columns I pay attention to. I pay attention to what the keyword is. I pay attention to the volume and the keyword difficulty. So the volume is how often these keywords are searched in a 30-day time frame. The KD, the keyword difficulty, is how hard it would be to rank your website off of these keywords, or how hard it is to rank with these. And then the position is where the website that we're looking at is falling in Google. So for an exterior house uplighting, this website, Plano, Texas Handyman, is in the number 1 position, and he's being found at least 400 times a month just for exterior house uplighting. Now, that particular keyword is very difficult to rank for. Anything over a 10 can take a lot of time or a lot of juice to, and juice itself is power to get you ranking for that. So why I point this out is if I go in and I just type in handyman and I want to see how difficult it is to rank for Frisco, Texas. Handyman Frisco, Texas has a keyword difficulty of 1, and it's searched 200 times a month. So that would be very easy to rank your website. And then not just that, you change up how it's worded. So Frisco Handyman, it's being searched 80 times a month with a 0 keyword. And then if we switch over to Plano, Handyman Plano, Texas has a keyword difficulty of 3, and it has a search volume of 200. So just placing these keywords on your web page and you being found for them is going to significantly drive traffic to your website. And with the fact that the keyword difficulty is much lower, that is also going to be much quicker. So you probably rank easily for something less than a 5 within 3 to 6 months at the latest. So with all that being said, the last thing I want to show you are backlinks and referring domains. So once again, these are what drive power and credibility to your website. Just want to show you what they look like. And when we're trying to rank a website, we want to go after what their competition is doing and either mimic or get the same links so that you have the same power. So that these are all backlinks. So the domain rating is what increases. So we would want to look for something like that's up in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, close to 100 to push a lot of power to your website. And they don't have a ton. Actually, they have a lot of backlinks, but not all backlinks are created equal. The ones that have more power are going to push more popularity and more power to your website. So I may have created more questions, but to give you an overview of what it is that we do in a short period of time, this is a lot of the research that we would be doing to help improve your website and your organic traffic. So if that's something that you would like to discuss a little bit more in detail, like I said, Carissa and I are with Damn Good Marketing, and I'm based out of Tampa, Florida. She's in Austin, Texas, very close to you. But we would like to be able to share some of this knowledge with you. And if you have time for a one-to-one, let's get that scheduled and see how we might be able to assist. And please keep in mind all of the steps that we go through, whether we have a one-on-one or we do a deep dive or even put together a proposal for you. We can do things a la carte. And we try to gear it towards your budget for your business as well as where it is that you want to go. And then it's at no cost. So we're just looking to help other small businesses grow. And we want you to take advantage of the fact that we're both part of BNI. So with that being said, Melanie, thank you for your time and look forward to chatting with you hopefully here within the next couple of days. Have a great afternoon.